John Wick is on the run in Manhattan after he was labeled excommunicato for killing of the high-table crime lord Santino on Continental grounds. John makes his way to the New York Public Library where he retrieves a marker medallion and a rosary. During his time in the library, he is attacked and injured by another hitman, and John seeks medical treatment from an underworld doctor. His excommunicato status activates before the doctor can finish, forcing John to complete the suturing himself. Upon leaving, he is quickly pursued by various gangs of assassins, all of whom he of course kills. John's good at what he does. John meets up with the director, the head of the Roscoe Roma crime syndicate, to whom he presents the rosary and demands safe passage to Casablanca. As John was once a member, the director reluctantly agrees. Meanwhile, a high-table adjudicator meets with New York Continental manager Winston and the Bowery King, notifying them that they both have 7 days to resign from their positions as a consequence for helping John. The adjudicator enlists Zero, a Japanese assassin, and orders him to stab the director through both of her hands as penance for aiding John. You don't want to help John Wick. In Casablanca, John meets Sophia, his former friend and manager of the Moroccan Continental. John presents her with the marker, which bonds Sophia to repay a debt to John. John demands to be directed to the Elder, the only person above the high table, who alone can rescind John's excommunicado status. Sophia begrudgingly takes John to Barada, her former boss, who tells John he may find the Elder only by wandering through the desert until he can no longer walk. When Sophia refuses to give Barada one of her trained dogs in return for his help, he shoots the dog. But this isn't part one, the dog's wearing a bulletproof vest. John prevents Sophia from killing Barada, and they fight their way out of the Casbah and drive into the desert where she leaves John to walk. 7 days later, the adjudicator and Zero confront the Bowery King, who refuses to resign his position. In response, Zero's students slaughter the Bowery King's men, while Zero slashes the Bowery King 7 times with a short sword. Meanwhile, after a lot of walking, John collapses in the desert and is eventually brought to the Elder. John tells the Elder he wants to live to keep the memory of the love he once had with his late wife. The Elder agrees to forgive John under one condition: he must kill Winston, and remain a servant to the high table for the remainder of his life. To show his fealty, John severs his ring finger and gives his wedding ring to the Elder. Upon returning to New York, John is attacked by Zero and his students before reaching the protection of the Continental. Everyone likes motorcycles. The adjudicator arrives, but Winston refuses to resign, and John refuses to kill him, forcing the adjudicator to revoke the Continental status and send both Zero and an army of heavily armed high-table enforcers to kill John and Winston. Winston provides John with weapons and the assistance of Continental employee Karen and his staff. After killing all the enforcers, Zero and his students ambush John. John proceeds to kill them all. He's John Wick. Zero and John have a very intense battle, but Zero is eventually defeated and left to die. On the roof of the Continental, the adjudicator agrees to parley with Winston, who offers allegiance to the high table. When John arrives, Winston shoots him, and he falls to the street below. Winston resumes his position, and the severely injured John is secretly delivered to the Bowery King in an underground bunker. The two agree to join forces against the high table.
Thank you so much to Brad from Canada from the Scene Invaders Podcast for doing this recap. Consider subscribing to my channel and their channel. They do a really good job of just breaking down movies and TV shows in a really chill way. Also, consider becoming a member of the channel. That would help me out. And if you want to be really cool, I have merch, so you can buy that too.